Let's take a look at the chart action for Cardano. Alright, so here's what I've been looking at. We'll go on the smaller time frames and work our way up. We're starting with the 4-hour time frame, and here's what I've been looking at. So we had resistance right here, support right here, support right here. So let's draw some trend lines with the top, and then let's draw a trend line at the bottom. I was waiting for a breakout to the upside or the downside. We got a breakout to the upside, and what I was doing is targeting from the top to the bottom of this little triangle, dragging it to the breakout, and I was looking at a target of approximately 2.10. We actually came up and hit that target, and we're already kind of coming back down. It seems like I'd been kind of dollar cost averaging a little bit in this area right here, just because we kind of dipped, and I was just kind of buying the dip. But what I'm looking at, if we zoom out a little bit more, let's go to the daily time frame. So this was that triangle that we were just looking at, and before that we had a triangle pattern, something like this. We had resistance and we had support, and I was waiting for a breakout to the upside or the downside, and depending on where you target this, we came and wicked down all the way down to 180, somewhere around there. So if you drag from the top to the bottom of this triangle, drag that to the breakout, we pretty much came down and hit that target pretty good. So I'm kind of wondering if now we're getting a bounce and we can start maybe expecting to head up. The other thing we can maybe do is get this resistance line and then drag that out a little bit. Let's delete this one right here, and let's drag this trend line out like this. I think if we could break this trend line going to the upside, that'll be a good signal to get more bullish, and we can start targeting some of these previous support levels, resistance levels. Until we break this trend line going to the upside though, it might give us some resistance and we might continue to head down. We're going to have to wait and see until we break this trend line going to the upside, then we can get more confident on these bullish targets. The top over here is at around 2.64, and I don't know, I'm kind of seeing like a little bit of resistance right here, maybe at around 2.32. approximately. If we zoom out a little bit more, the previous top was around 2.98. So I think in general, like step one is coming up to this trend line and breaking through it. I've been waiting for Cardano to do this for a while now. We've been down here for a couple days now, for a little, in my opinion, a little while, and we're finally kind of breaking out of this little zone right here. Now we can maybe start trading in this zone up here, maybe come up here and start trading like that, and then maybe get a push to the upside, and then maybe get a little bit of resistance right here, have to come down and retest. This is just like some speculation on my part. I don't know if we're even going to be able to break through right here, but that's the first step that we really have to do. But then after that, like I said, trade in this zone and then maybe come up, hit this target up here. If we could trade in this zone up here, then maybe come up, hit that target up there. I do like the way that we broke out of this smaller triangle on the 4-hour time frame though. This is a smaller time frame, but this could be the start of the reversal. But I don't know, I would say maybe watch the daily time frame at this point. That's probably what I'll be watching. This resistance line looks pretty solid right here. We have a lot of resistance right here. I don't know, it's either going to give us resistance or we're going to break through it. And I think if we could break through it, we might see a big move. I think that's the point. But in general, if we can break through this trend line and stay above it, I think that's going to be a good signal. Also, if we go to the daily, we're on the daily time frame right now, and I like watching the 9 moving average. It's coming in right here. It was actually we were going in and out of it on the daily time frame on Cardano all through this area right here. So I'm not 100% sure, but it does look like we got a clean break right now is my point. Looks like we broke out of there pretty cleanly. So what I'm trying to say is I think if we can stay above this 9 moving average, and maybe it'll hold support as opposed to giving us resistance. Let's jump up to the weekly time frame and see what that looks like. Okay, so here's actually a better 9 moving average that we could be focusing on. Let's delete these lines right here, and we have this 9 moving average right here. I think if we could break above this line, then we'll be able to start targeting these previous highs right there. Or we could get much more confident on being bullish. Right now, we're still below the 9 moving average, which I don't really care for, but maybe we're setting up to break through it. Every time we break through it, we get a nice big move. Got to break through it right there. In general, this area looks a little bit like it was going in and out of it, actually. Sometimes this 9 moving average works a little bit better than others, or these moving averages. Right here was a clear little uptrend, but in this area right here, it looked like it was kind of going in and out of it. So sometimes it works, like here, and sometimes it doesn't. So just something else to look out for. In general, I kind of look at it as like a signal whether we're in a good spot or a bad spot. If we're above it, I have more of a reason to be bullish, and if we're below it, I have more reason to be bearish, or at least looking for a break. Like I said, let's say if we go keep support on here and then maybe get a break through it. In general, if we go back to the daily time frame, we deleted everything, and we have the previous top right here and the previous resistance, maybe something like this. I was really looking at this resistance line more than anything, but we could also maybe draw a trend line from the top to this previous resistance, something like that, where we're looking at this and this. So I think if we could break maybe this line as well, maybe that might be a good signal. Maybe this breaking this trend line might help as well. Like I said, I'm really looking at these zones more than anything. I think if we could break into this zone and then maybe try to get into this zone, maybe we could end up in this zone and break through it. But like I said, we got a few steps to go to before we can do some of these things, but those are just the things that I'm looking at or thinking about. In general, if you look at the watch list, we got a lot of red going on right now. Cardano's green, and Solana and Matic are green as well. I was thinking about doing another video on Solana. I haven't really done one in a little bit. Also, if you guys have any requests on the videos that I usually do and you want like an update, just let me know in the comments. Sometimes I kind of forget about them, or sometimes I need like a reminder to do some of these things. So yeah, I'll probably be looking at Solana. I also want to check out this Cody crypto coin. It actually, I was looking at it and it's tied to, it's used in a NFT game where you kind of, it's kind of like a raffle kind of thing where you hold Cody and you get tokens, and then there's like raffles, and the more tokens you have, the more like raffles you can get. And if you have like certain NFTs, I think you accumulate NFTs or something like that, and if you get certain ones, you can get a lot of Cody. But I'm still kind of looking into it. I was kind of gonna start trading it maybe and seeing if I could build up an accumulation and maybe get some of that, or kind of start staking it to get those tokens or whatever I have to do. But right now, still looking into it. But yeah, the next video I'll probably be looking at Solana. It's been running up pretty good, so if you want to check out that video, it should be right here. And if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you in the next one.